Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another live stream with Consult the Blind Guy. My name is Andrew. And today's topic, as I said, we're covering Leda Day 12. And our mission is in the description, but I'm going to pull it up here so I can read it to you so you actually understand fully what I'm doing today. So, my mission today for Leda Day 12 is you can teach or inspire in your content. But when you get personal with your teaching moment, it'll make a much bigger impact. Your mission: deliver your teaching moment with a super personal story or example to support the point you're making. So today, I thought I would actually touch on self determination. Why self determination? Because a lot of us in our VIP blind community struggle with dealing with the perceptions and opinions of others. As I've said in previous streams, I myself have struggled with this, and I'm sure you've noticed over the last week and a half that I have actually opened up quite a bit here that I usually would keep very much private and to myself out of fear of everybody else's opinions. So I figured today I would share a little bit about my personal story. I have touched a little bit on this in previous streams, but I figured I'd go a little bit deeper on some of these things. For example, I'm sure that you, at some point in your life in the blind or VIP community, have been told by one of your relatives or by a friend that because you cannot see, you cannot do it. You can't do this. You can't do that. Well, you're blind. You can't do that. Well, bullshit. I'm here to tell you right now you can. Why? Because I've done it myself. Not once, but 3 separate times in my lifetime, and I'm still doing some of these dreams. In fact, this is one of them right here, sharing my experience and my personal stories so you know that you're not alone. Unfortunately, it is a big struggle in our community to listen to everybody downgrade or discredit you in trying to accomplish your dreams or your aspirations and what you want to do. And I can tell you firsthand, do not listen to them. I promise you, if you listen to them, that you're gonna fail. You're not gonna succeed. You have to have faith in yourself and think you can, because if you don't, you're not going to succeed in that. And I can tell you that because I've done it myself multiple times. I've been able to be a firefighter. I served 8 years in the Marine Corps. I received my driver's license and I actually gave it up on my own. I have been a music producer for the last 12 years. I actually just had my first song aired on the radio 3 months ago. I have a couple Grammy Award winners who actually sing my songs. And it wouldn't have all happened without having that self determination to prove everybody wrong. So, with that said, here's a little bit of personal story for you. As I've said before, I have X-linked retinitis pigmentosa, which is a hereditary eye disease that has caused me to be legally blind since I was a child. Um, my eye disease can actually, at any moment, even sitting here right now, I could literally go blind just like that in a snap of a finger. Now, I'm already legally blind, and it's hard for me to focus on some things. Like, I'm sure you notice I pay more attention to the computer than I do actually the camera because it's hard for me to see where exactly it is because of my vision. My cataracts and everything moving around makes it very hard for me to focus on exactly where the camera is, especially against the background. And one of the struggles I've dealt with a lot throughout my life is dealing with my own relatives and people in the community telling me you cannot do this or you will not do that, and you can't do that because you cannot see that well, or you're blind, or the list goes on. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I always used to get asked the question by my teachers and by my relatives of, what are your dreams? What do you want to do when you grow up? As I'm sure most of you have actually heard and had the same exact questions asked, and you've answered them time and time again. As I've said in my previous stream where I really went deep on this, one of my childhood dreams was I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be able to go to space and be able to walk out and be able to do a spacewalk on the International Space Station. I wanted to be somebody that could go out and land on the moon and be like Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong. But I was always told by some of my aunts and my uncles and other relatives on both sides of my family, well, you can't do that. You're blind. You'll never do that. You can't see. And they're right. I probably won't be an astronaut, but that's okay because I had more dreams than just being an astronaut. One of my other dreams was I wanted to be a firefighter. And because of that, they also stated, no, can't do that. You're blind. Blind people can't rescue others when they can't see. And that's bullshit. Been there, done that. I actually spent 2 years in my first fire department. The first year I was signed on as an observer. And after I received training for a year, I was actually a hired in volunteer there. I then transferred to a different district and was hired in there. And I was on calls. No, I did not go inside of burning buildings, but I was a firefighter nonetheless. I still had to put on my turnout gear. I still had to go on calls. I had to drive myself to different emergencies to be able to take care of people in those situations. I was one of the guys that would stand out and hook up the hose, hook up the hydrant. I would be the one to do our daily equipment check. I was the one that made sure that everything was there and in working order. That to me is a great accomplishment, all because I had the self determination to say, yes, I can. You are not going to tell me that I can't. If you can do that, you can succeed. Please trust me on this. Have faith in yourself and think, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Prove them wrong. Because once you do that, people will have a completely different perspective of you. Having that self determination is going to help you succeed not only in your dreams, but in anything you want to do in your life. I can tell you that because I'm doing it right here, right now. This stream is an accomplishment for me because I have hid so many of my different thoughts and opinions and experiences out of fear of what others would think and say to me about what I've done. Another good example is that I wanted to, at around the same time in childhood, not only did I want to be a firefighter, but I wanted to be a soldier. I specifically wanted to be a Marine. Of course, as I've said a moment ago, I heard those comments. No, you can't. You won't ever do that. You can't see. You're blind. You won't succeed. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Guess what? I was 15 years old when I first went to my Marine Corps recruiting office, and I started talking to my recruiter, who then not only was I talking to him, but because of my determination, was I allowed to actually be a Marine. I went in at 15. I started talking to him. I started the Pool program, which is what you are before you go to boot camp and actually become a recruit and start your training. During my pulley process, I heard a lot of people during that time say, "No, you're not gonna do it. You can't do it. You can't see that good. You're not gonna be able to do these things." Well, I did do it. I spent a year and a half as a pulley before I actually signed on that dotted line, more or less, as us veterans call it, that blank check of up to and all of my life that I will defend this country and the Constitution and all those in it. I don't care what the color of your skin is, whether you're a foreigner or not. When you're here, you are underneath that protection. People told me, no, you can't do that. But I did. I volunteered at no cost to our government, all because I was determined to prove everybody that told me I couldn't that they were wrong. And you can do it too. Just have faith in yourself because you can succeed at anything you put your mind to if you're willing to put in the work. I got lucky. I am one of the absolute fewest of the few and the proud. I am just one of 16 Marines in the entire Marine Corps history to do what I've done. I am the only civilian to actually be put in charge of a military installation and have control, authority over everybody from a recruit up to a staff sergeant when my staff non-commissioned officer in charge was out of the office. I did a lot of things in those 8 years that people told me I would never do. I received training that no one in my family has. And that to them was a shocker because they all thought I would never do it. I did it 8 years in a row at no cost to our government at all. Not 1 cent did our taxpayer dollars pay for me to be in uniform because I was determined to prove everybody in my family and in my community that I could do it, because this misconception that just because you have low vision or an eye impairment is bull. You can do it. It might take a little bit of improvisation to be able to adapt to that situation, but you can do it. You can overcome that problem. And you just heard those 3 words. That is a Marine Corps saying right there: improvise, adapt, and overcome. That has been one of my mottos ever since I volunteered for Marine Corps. And that has helped me to continue to push forward and be able to do what I want to do in my life. And that's helping me to be able to help you in this community, because that's why I'm here. This is not about me in making money. This is not about me in getting famous. This is not about me in doing anything. I am here because I want to help you. That has always been my mission. I want to help you succeed in whatever dream you have. I'm here. You can get a hold of me and ask questions. You can get a hold of me and vent. You you just need somebody to have a shoulder to cry on. I'm here because I've gone through a lot of the same struggles as you. Another good example of having the self-determination to succeed. Again, childhood, being blind. Always told I would never have my driver's license. Never would I be able to drive myself. Never would I be able to do anything that would require me to have good eyesight. And guess what? But yet again, that was the third thing that I did that actually I succeeded at to prove my own family wrong. Granted, a lot of people, when I got my license, were doing the whole driver's education in school and spending 3, 4, $500 a session to have some teacher teach them how to drive. You know what? I didn't do that. I did not take driver's training. I did not do any kind of driver's education before I went and actually received my driver's license. Thankfully, I had actually worked on a farm with one of my aunt and uncles, specifically one of my aunts that always would discredit me and discourage me from trying things. My uncle, her husband, was nice enough to actually encourage me on these things. He was the one that actually inspired me to be a firefighter. Why? Because one year when I was up at their house during the summer on school break, we had tornadoes. Specifically, we had six tornadoes all at the same time in a matter of like 5 miles from each other. When those storms hit, I was actually out doing a traditional rain dance in their backyard. And then I started getting pelted by hail the size of quarters and 50-cent pieces. So naturally, when you're only a few years older than, well, five, I was probably like 7, 8 years old, somewhere around there. And when you start getting hit by hail the size of a quarter or a 50-cent piece, naturally, you're going to run for cover. I went into the house and was there with my aunt and uncle. My uncle's radio, his scanner, uh, like mine right here, which is how I was actually listening to the tornado warnings and everything I had the other night in case I had to run for shelter. One of his radios like that went off. And when we heard those tones for the emergency, that's when we found out that we actually had 6 different tornadoes in a 5-mile radius. Naturally, my uncle is a volunteer firefighter, and his first thing he had to do was grab his gear and go. Guess who got to tag along? Because I was the only one of the children who wanted to see and who wanted to help. Me. Not one of my cousins was there, wanted to go and see what happened, what the emergency was, be able to help in the emergency, but I did. And because my uncle let me do things like that, that's what inspired me to be a firefighter. My uncle always encouraged me in doing what I wanted to for my dreams. And because of that, he inspired me and gave me a little bit of that confidence and determination in myself to be able to succeed and do exactly what I wanted to. He also let me drive his farm tractors, his big old John Deere. That thing was freaking huge. Literally, I couldn't fit his tractor in my bedroom. It is so big. He let me drive it. The blind guy, low vision, driving a tractor. I wasn't even a teenager yet, and I was driving that big old tractor. So that gave me enough of a driving experience. So when I got to be 18 years old, that I actually got to go out and get my driver's license. I went to the Secretary of State. I did my 25-question quiz, only had 2 answers wrong. That's it. 2. Never even had an experience out on the road. And only had 2 questions wrong. Got my driver's permit. That I had to use for 180 days before I could actually go and get my full driver's license, providing I met the requirement for driving time. It took me less than 180 days to get my full driver's license because I was determined to do as much as I could to be able to get it and to be able to prove people wrong. So anytime I was in my Marine Corps office and they needed background checks done, they needed fuel in the cargo vans for our meetings, whether they needed fuel in their own personal cars so they could go to meetings, but they were too busy in the office in the middle of interviews, they would give me their vehicle keys and the credit card for the shop, and I would go and fill up their tanks for them. I would go and do all the background checks so they didn't have to leave the office and do more important things. In a matter of 3 months, 3 months, 90 days. That's half the requirement. And I had my full driver's license because I did as much driving as possible. Now, you're probably wondering, do you still drive? No, I don't. At the age of 24, just 6 years of being able to drive, I voluntarily gave up my driver's license because I didn't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt myself because I don't want to hit another car because I couldn't see them in my blind spot. And now that I am legally blind, even worse than what I was when I was volunteering, I really was fearful that I was going to hurt somebody or hurt myself, if not kill somebody or myself. So I voluntarily gave up my driver's license and I have never drove since, ever. I miss it, but I'm glad that I actually gave up that ability just so I know I wouldn't be the one responsible for hurting somebody else. Since then, okay, since I was 26, I'm about to be 35 in literally 2 months. Actually, well, 2 months and 4 days, and I will be 35. And in that 9 years, holy crap, have I done a lot. As I know most of you here already know, you've seen the previous videos, and if you haven't, well, you're probably already gathered just by the amount of stuff I have been doing here on the streams the last couple days that I do a lot. I actually have 3 YouTube channels. I have 10 Facebook pages and 18 groups, all my own. Not one person helps me with that. That was all started by me and has been managed by me since day one. Pardon, coffee burps. Sorry if that was in your ear. I did not mean to do that. But that has been one of my things that I've done, is to help educate and share different things on different niches. For instance, you have this community here, which is focused on helping educate the sighted about the blind and visually impaired community, as well as helping the blind and visually impaired community know that you're not alone. Know that you have options and resources out there to help you do the things you want to do. And if you can't find it, please let me know, because I will do my best to find it for you. And if it's not out there, I will do it for you myself. If you need help with tech, no problem. If I am not already on that program or familiar with it, I know a lot of different people who can help me get access or help me learn it to be able to help our community here. And that's the whole reason that this channel was created, was to share my experience and personal feelings so you can know that you're not alone and you can do whatever you want to do. It just takes a little bit of grit and a little bit of work. If you're willing to put in that grit and that work, you will succeed. Obviously, I'm doing it right here, right now. I've been doing it for the last week and a half. I've been doing it ever since I was a child. You just gotta have faith in yourself and keep pushing forward. Don't take no for an answer. Another good example, as I said, I've been a music producer for the last 12 years. I started out doing it privately just for my own entertainment, to be able to put music into my YouTube videos and different videos that I made for my family to commemorate holidays and personal events and things like that. Ever since then, this past year, I got all my licensing for all of the samples and loops that I use to be able to create my music, other than my own music that I create with my instruments. I've got over 100 music licenses to create music. This past March, I was lucky and I created a song and it was aired on the radio, not only in its local area, but internationally across internet radio as well. And if you haven't checked out that radio station by chance yet, big shout out to KZUM 89.3 in Lincoln, Nebraska, to my friend Sam Plentychief, who is the only DJ currently in the United States that has exclusive permission to air any one of my songs. If it wasn't for her and our relationship and friendship, I wouldn't have that opportunity to have my music aired yet. I probably could have if I went to the local radio, but because I have a friend that is actually a radio DJ, I chose to go to her first. And her channel, as I said, is KZUM 89.3 in Lincoln, Nebraska. But you can actually check them out on kzum.org every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. They have their show called Native Sounds, Native Voices. And that was the first radio show I had my song put onto. In fact, I've actually considered this week putting that song in the background during one of these streams. Most of you who have seen my videos previously already know that song. Why? Because it's my intro. I want you to listen to the words of that song in that intro. I granted it's only part of it, but just listen to the lyrics in that song. And that's why I have not gotten rid of that intro. I am going to modify my intro so it does make a little bit more sense. Because I know I've got the two that are up. Sorry. I know I've got the two that are up now. The original one, which was really not geared specifically at any specific thing. And it was kind of confusing because of the ravens flying around, which has been asked me a few times of why do you have the birds flying? Well, I have the birds flying because that is actually my native name, Kogakshi, which translates in English, in layman's terms, is raven. It does have a much more meaningful definition to it, but unfortunately, because of the way that our teachings are, my name is too sacred to actually give you the full definition. So that's why I merely go by Raven. But that there is why I always had the birds in that intro. Of course, now I've got the new intro. It's not the same as what it was before, and it's got the whole setup so where you can see the different types of content you'll find here, links to my Hangout group and my Facebook page, as well as my merch line and stuff like that. But I will be making yet another intro. That way, there is a little bit more context to what you're going to find here. There's going to be another actual channel trailer because that needs to be updated. As you can see today, compared to my trailer, there is a drastic change in my whole mannerisms of sitting here on camera. You can hear the energy in my voice. You can hear the passion in my voice compared to, hi, my name's Andrew, and in today's episode, we're going to cover 10 common problems for the blind and visually impaired. Isn't that boring? I know. I'm sorry that I was boring for the first few months. I'm sorry that I did not have the confidence in myself to be able to show you what this channel was really meant for. And thanks to Leda, you can guarantee you're going to see a lot more of this out of me. You are going to hear my opinions. You are going to hear my thoughts, my perspectives. If you don't agree with it, that's okay. I can agree to disagree. That is a whole thing that I talked about the other day in my stream. We need to talk on these different situations going on in society so we can fix this problem in society. Break these stereotypes. clear up the misconceptions, educate people on what is going on. So I thank all of you because you have all been super encouraging and helpful these past 11 days to help me grow that much more to help our community. So I hope by doing this stream today that I have actually helped inspire you and given you a little bit of boost and confidence that you can succeed because I'm here to help you and support you in doing it, whether it's here in these live streams, whether it's talking on Facebook, whether it's on any of the other social platforms. I am here if you need me. Feel free to reach out at any time. I am up most of the day. My friends that are here in the community will tell you I usually am up until 2, 3, 4 in the morning sometimes, just so I can help out people in our community because it means that much to me to see you succeed, to see that you actually do accomplish the dreams that you want to accomplish, just like I have been these last few years. So, if you're here with me today, I want to thank you for joining me live. And if you're here watching this in the replay, please use hashtag Team Replay in the comments so that I know you were here. Drop a comment, let me know, along with Team Replay, what you thought of this stream. I love getting feedback. Go ahead, ask any questions you might have because I will do my best to answer them and improve on anything you think needs improvement here on this channel. So let's see who we have with us today in the live stream. Hey, Solar Gravity, thanks for coming. Just Samson, brothers. Corn fam's in the house. I love it. I can't thank you guys all enough for being here, helping me and encouraging me and giving awesome advice. Just Samson, I can't thank you enough, brother. Really, I can't. I'm so happy we were able to connect. Uh Now, Greg, I don't know about being a brain surgeon, but I think, in a sense, you could be a brain surgeon because don't we nitpick at people and make them think? Isn't that a sense of surgery? Might not be physical surgery, but isn't that kind of a sense of surgery? Um, let's see, who else do we have here with us today? Hey, Aaron Waller, thanks, brother, for coming and supporting me as well. Greatly appreciated. I can't thank our quarantine fam enough for coming and supporting me. Um, you guys are freaking awesome. I swear. I can't thank you all enough. Um, Also, while I'm here, I wanted to put it out there in case you aren't in the Hangout group already. I did put a post in there, but I'm going to mention it here just in case you're not in there. That I did verify yesterday with Pat Flynn that his course is still available. So if you're interested in building your own business from the very bottom all the way up to being successful like I am thanks to Pat's help, go to smartpassiveincome.com/toolkit. You'll have to scroll down about half the page, and then there's 3 courses there that are absolutely free. Pat is an awesome mentor of mine. I talk to him every day during the live streams. I'm also in every one of his office hours every week because he gives such great value, advice, and information. And he's just an awesome all around guy, really. I can't thank him enough because he has been a great help for me to be able to do the things that I'm doing now. If it wasn't for Pat, I would not have made some of the changes to this channel. If it wasn't for Pat, I wouldn't be working so hard to actually build my own business to be able to get off a disability. And that is one reason I have this whole new series on 10 ways to make money to get off of disability. Because if it wasn't for Pat, I would have been way too nervous to be even trying to make a business of my own because of fear of Social Security and the restrictions and everything else. But thankfully, because of all the knowledge that I have gained, I have figured out just exactly how we in the blind and visually impaired or in the disabled community can actually be our own business, how we can make money and not have to be so dependent on the government. I'm not saying you have to get off of Social Security. I'm just saying if you want to, if you really want to get off of Social Security, he is a great resource to help you do that. He's helping me do just that right now. Every day, I spend hours working on things so I can do exactly what I want to. And that's why I'm here sharing these things with you so you can do the same thing if you want to. Uh, Yes. Yes, Earth Magic. That is actually it right there. An intellectual brain surgeon. Exactly. 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 That is what I'm talking about right there, Greg. Perfect example, Earth Magic. We in the blind and visually impaired community, disabled community, can actually change the way people think in society. I know you're probably uncomfortable when you talk on these things, but I'll tell you right now, I've been doing it for the last 12 days, and every day I do it, it gets easier and easier and easier. This is why I have shared so much of my personal life because every time I do these streams, it gets easier every time. As you notice, I've not sat here and gone, what am I gonna say today? Um, 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 no, don't have to do that. I literally didn't even think of what I was going to talk about today until 5 minutes before I hit that go live button. What was I going to talk about? What was my teachable moment? What can I share today that would give you in this community value so you know that you can count on me as a content creator and as a friend here on YouTube who is looking out for you? Because this channel is not about me, it's about you. Every one of you watching right now, that's why I'm here. That's been my goal, is to take my experience to be able to help you all grow, whether it's here on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, whatever platform you want to do, go for it. I'm here to help you succeed in that platform. I actually have 2 books in the process. I'm almost done with the first one, which is a transcript for the People of Video conference. I'm actually going to give that transcript to the host, which is Dan Courier. Shout out to Creator Fundamentals for allowing me the opportunity to attend the People of Video conference, as well as being the very first member of the People of Video Society. So I am the first co-founding member of the People of Video. Because of that conference, I have learned so much from all the different presenters, and that is actually how I found Pat Flynn. And ever since then, everything has just progressed better and better and better these last 5 months. If it wasn't for them, I would not be this comfortable on sharing everything and giving you the knowledge that I have been gaining these past 5 months. And it wouldn't have been for LSP doing this challenge to help me gain the confidence to go live every day and share these different personal stories and experiences that I've had to help you grow. So I thank you all for that, because whether you realize it or not, you've been a great help as well. Just being here, commenting, your feedback, everything has been super helpful for me to be successful, so I can be helpful to you and give that extra value and be able to watch our community succeed at your dreams. Earth magic, I don't know about corrupting minds. I'm sure you're an intellectual mind mapper in a sense, because you can give so many different perspectives, just like we all can, with our personal experience and things that we've witnessed in society and the misconceptions and stereotypes and everything. I can't thank you guys all enough for coming here and supporting me and chatting. It's just freaking awesome. I never would have thought a year ago that this channel would mean this much, that I would be able to reach the people that I am now and being able to share these things and watch you all grow as part of it. Because I honestly, previous to this challenge, did not think I was a person that would able to share my experience and give you the value that I thought you deserved. I did not look at myself as an influencer, but these past few days I have actually been have been referenced to as an influencer. This past Wednesday, I had a People of Video Society meeting, and I had actually made that comment to Dan and Andrew Can from TubeBuddy. Shout out to TubeBuddy, and thank you, TubeBuddy, for your deals that you have given all of us People of Video Society members. It's like super helpful. Can't thank you enough. TubeBuddy is an awesome tool. No, I am not sponsored. I am not an affiliate. I am just a TubeBuddy user. Although I will probably be reaching out to them for an affiliate or sponsorship here in the near future, just because I do love TubeBuddy. They are freaking awesome people. They have been so helpful for me with all my analytics, uploading, search engine optimization. TubeBuddy is an awesome tool for YouTubers. I actually told Dan and Andrew Can this past Wednesday that I never thought that I would ever be able to be as successful as them. I never thought that I would be a influencer in any way. And I was actually shocked that Andrew and Dan both told me, do not discredit yourself, because you could actually, in fact, be the next influencer. Because there aren't many people out there in our community that actually share the things that we do on some of our channels, like the Blind Guy Show with Greg or Earth Magic. We all have a different perspective on how things are, the things we like to do, the things that we use, and those things there are actually able to influence people in our community. Whether you realize it or not, some of the things that we say do touch home with people, and they will look at the things that we use. Whether it's like using StreamYard or Streamlabs OBS, TubeBuddy, vidIQ, Social Blue Book, Amazon, eBay, Etsy, whatever it is that you might recommend or mention in your videos. Whether you think about it or not, people do actually pay attention to those things and will go look at them. That there is influencing your community. And I didn't think of it that way. I just thought of it as, oh, well, I mentioned something that I like. I mentioned something I use. I didn't think of it as being an influencer. I just thought it was me being me and sharing knowledge, sharing what I like and what I don't like. And they actually told me not to discredit myself, because they can see me being the next influencer in our community, because of the things that I am doing with this channel and on my other platforms. And it's all because of you right here watching right now. So I thank you all because you really have been a great help. Hey, designed by CAD Pro. Hey, brother. I did get your message on Facebook. I'm sorry I haven't responded to it just yet. I will be doing that here shortly. I've just, sorry, I have just been like super overwhelmed the last couple of days. Yesterday, it took me a little bit longer to get my stream done on Facebook and then to get everything taken care of. So I'm sorry that I haven't responded back to you guys yet. I am planning on doing that here in just a little bit. Greg, I will be getting a hold of you to be able to do our chat about collaboration and stuff like that as well. So thank you all because you have been super supportive and encouraging, and I can't thank you all enough for it. Really, I can't. In fact, I am working on a couple things to do just to return that favor for our community because I feel it's something I need to do to give back to our community. You are correct. TubeBuddy is not the most accessible. However, I am actually in the process of talking to them and their support team to help improve on some of that because that has been one of my issues is the accessibility. I know that there's a lot of issues when it comes down to being able to see the things on their website and stuff like that. In fact, I have to use an extension on Google Chrome to have a dark theme just so I can see on their website. So trust me, I am working on getting some improvements done on TubeBuddy to help our community further. I'm I'm in talks. I'm not saying it's going to happen right away, but I have made some recommendations and comments to them through support to let them know what I think could be done to help our community because it's not going to just help our community, it's going to help them in the long run because then they'll have more members on their channel, they'll have more members to their company and more people making purchases. That's one reason I'm actually going to be talking to them about a possible sponsorship or affiliate deal as well because I have talked to them on some of them subjects. Like I said, I was just talking to Dan Courier and Andrew Can this past week. So we will see what happens. I'm not guaranteeing anything's going to happen right away, but we are at least in talks to make some improvements so our community can utilize that system. Yes, that is definitely one thing I know that needs to be done in order for us to really have the ability to use that site to its full potential. That was one of my biggest issues these past few months is trying to understand my analytics and see how everything works, and I couldn't do it because I couldn't see their tutorials. I couldn't do it because I could not follow along on their tutorials because it's too bright. You can't see the mouse move. So Andrew actually, during one of our meetings, actually went through and redid a tutorial live just so I could be able to find out the information I needed. And because of that, I'm actually going to be doing tutorials for our community so you can do it because I have another month's access of the Legend Pack. So thank you again to Buddy for the opportunity because of being a POV Society member, founder. to have the ability to try out the top tier of TubeBuddy to create the tutorials I'm going to here in the next few days for our community. Because it is my goal, if they ain't making it accessible immediately, by watching my tutorials, it will be accessible because I give a complete layout on absolutely everything. I want to know that when you watch that tutorial that you know exactly where your mouse is on that site and what everything does across the top all the way down. I want to make sure that you know exactly where it's positioned, where the button is, where the words are, what specifically everything is. So do stay tuned because if they aren't coming out with one, I am going to make tutorials specifically for our community to make it easier for you to use it. Now, with everybody here, I would love if you're here with us live. If you have any thoughts or feedback on anything that you would like to see improved on these streams, please let me know in the chat if you're watching this on the replay, let me know in the comments. Also, please use hashtag Team Replay so I know that you watched this after it was live. You know, any feedback, guys, literally, whether the lighting's off, audio's messed up, anything like that, if there's absolutely anything you want to nitpick, I don't care. Any feedback you can give me is good feedback. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be upset because any little improvement I can do to make my content more suitable for you, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to make sure that everything is capable for you to use and utilize to the fullest ability. And your feedback is the only way I can really make these improvements because I can sit here and think to myself, maybe I should do this and then do it. And then you're going to get mad because, well, maybe that lighting wasn't better. Maybe it was worse. Maybe the position of my microphone was way too far off to the side, so you're getting all kinds of extra feedback from like my computer fan running right now because my computer's a little bit warm. You know, um, whether it's background noise because I might be a little bit loud and it's giving an echo, or the camera angle sucks, anything. Any kind of feedback you guys want to give, I am greatly appreciative of because it helps me make better streams and better content to help you. Now, I'm curious if there is anybody here with me live that has considered doing a live stream daily, or are you afraid to actually go on camera because of somebody else's opinion of what you might do or say on camera? If you're here with me live, I would love to see you comment or drop an emoji and let me know that you're in that crew. Because if you are, I will be more than willing to help take care of that situation. As I've said, doing Leda has helped me quite a bit. So I know some different tactics now to be able to help you to gain that confidence to be on camera. I'm doing it without issues right now. Never would I have thought that I could get this far in the past week and a half, ever. I'm telling you, I was nervous beyond all belief doing this challenge, that I was going to be hated on or trolled or thought of in a different light than what I've actually received. And I can't thank you all enough for that. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them. I don't want to take up too much time because, unfortunately, I still only have the paid version of StreamYard, and I've only got a couple hours left of time, and that means I'm either gonna have to use a different platform to live stream, or I'm gonna have to purchase StreamYard membership so I can continue this month to continue doing live streams. Because once my 20-hour limit is up, that's it until the first, and that just is not gonna cut it. So if you guys have any questions, I would appreciate them if you would drop them into the chat real quick, and I will be more than happy to answer them because I do not want to take up too much time, and I want to be able to make sure that I can come back every day this month to complete the challenges here live and give you the value, and so you could see the transformation from day 1 to day 31. Because I'm telling you right now, from day 1 to day 12, I've already seen a drastic change. I'm curious if you've noticed that change. Have you seen a difference between day 1 and day 12? Or have you noticed a difference in general from the beginning of this channel up until now? I would love your feedback and thoughts on anything you wish to share, any questions you might have, whether it's about Leda or any of the previous videos, anything. You can ask anything you want right now. Thank you, Greg. That is greatly appreciated, brother. I greatly appreciate that feedback. Can't thank you guys all enough. Anybody have any questions, real quick? Because we are getting close to the top of the hour. If if got any questions, now's be a good time to ask them, because I'll answer it real quick. I don't mind going a couple minutes over the hour, but I am trying to stick as close as I can to it. That way I can try to be able to continue the rest of this week possibly without having to purchase into StreamYard, because I'm going to reach out to them and see if there's a possibility at a discount or anything because of being one of their resources for tutorials, because they do actually have me on their website as a resource because of the way I did the tutorials for our community. Had I not made the StreamYard tutorials the way that I did, they would probably not have so many blind and visually impaired people on StreamYard as they do now. Because I know there's quite a few of you who watched my videos and now use it. Unfortunately, I didn't know how to do the referral program when I did those tutorials. So I missed out on my opportunity for free access from them. But that's all right. That's not why I was doing it anyway. But I'm hoping, because I did do it, that they might give me a little bit of a discount so I can have it a little bit easier to afford. Because I would love to be able to have full access to everything and be able to improve the quality of these streams even more. All right, it's not looking like we have any questions today. So I want to thank you all who came and joined me here live today. Earth Magic, Blind Guy Show, Aaron Waller, Solar Gravity, Just Samson, Dale Cicerano. I thank you all deeply for coming and watching me live and supporting me on this channel and pretty much everything. I can't thank you all enough. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you can stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more. And we will see you tomorrow for day 13 of the Leda Challenge. Thank you all again for joining me today. I greatly appreciate you coming and hanging out and chatting with me. If you're interested and you're not already on the Facebook group, you can find us on Facebook. I do have a page called Consult the Blind Guy, as well as the Consult the Blind Guy Hangout group that is completely open to the public. It is a private group just so it's easier for me to make sure that our community stays a safe place for everybody. I only have the one basic rule of being respectful to everybody, and you'll be all right. Any disrespect, anything like that, and then we got a problem. But outside of that, so long as everybody maintains a respectful manner, everybody is welcome, blind or not. Again, I want to thank you all again for joining me. Definitely Earth Magic. I hope to see you here tomorrow. It would be great. Love having everybody here. I can't thank you all enough. I hope everybody has a good evening or good rest of your day, depending on where you are in the world. And I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow for day 13. And we'll see you later. Thanks again, everybody, for coming. We'll see you later.